Good morning, grade 1. How are you today? Now we are going to solve revision worksheet number 2. It's about hundreds, tens, and ones. It's very important before you start solving to review week 5 and week 6. Okay? Now, let's start. Question number 8. Find the value of the underlined digit. I told you, it will be easier for you when you know the position of the digit. It's under the hundreds or tens and ones, so you can decide the value. Let's read 629. 629. I told you before you have two ways to know the value of the underlined digits. Some of the students will only read it to know the value. Some of the students will draw it. It's up to you. But you have to know the position of the digit before you decide its value. Now, I will write, to make it easier for you, hundreds, tens, and ones. Okay? Now, the underlined digit is 6 here. 6 is under the family of the, of the hundreds. So, what's the value of the 6 here? Do you remember that hundreds is a 3-digit number? Yes. So, the value of the 6 here is 600. Very good. How do you make sure that your answer is correct? Let's read it. You read it this way, right? 629. 629. So, the value of the 6 is 600. Now, next. 187. 187. I can guess its value from reading 187. Or you can put 100, tens, and ones. So, the 7 is under the ones. Do you remember how do we write the ones? Yes, ones, it's only 1-digit number, right? So, what's the value of the 7 here? Yes, the value of the 7 is 7 only. Let's go here. 902. 902. Let's write hundreds, tens, and ones. What's the value of the underlined digit? First, you have to tell me what's the position here. Yeah, it's under the ones. As we said before, the ones are only 1-digit number. So, 902. Look, how do you read it? 902. It's under the family of the ones. So, the value of the 2 here is only 2. Now, 754. 754. Look, how do I read it? What did you read the underlined digit? 754. So, it's 50. Let's make sure that my answer is correct. I will put hundreds, tens, and ones. So, the 5 is under the family of the tens. So, the value of the 5 is 50. Remember, the tens, the tens are 2-digit number. Like 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. Now, let's go next. 295. 295. I will put hundreds, tens, and ones. What's the value of the 2 here? Yes, it's under the family of the hundreds. And how do I read it? 295. So the value of the digit 2 here is 200. 853. 853. 8 is under the family of the, let's guess, yes, of the hundreds. So what's the value of the 8? How do you read it? You read it this way, 853. So the value of the 8 here is 800. 99. 99. We have only 2 digits here, right? So, do you have hundreds? No, you don't have. You have only tens and ones. The underlined digit is 9. It's under the family of, yes, under the tens. So, how do you read it? How do I write it? What's the value of the number if it's under the tens? It's 99. 90. Look, how did I pronounce it? 90. So the value of the 9 here is 90. As I said before, if you are not sure, you can read it and you can model it. Model it means you can draw it. Now, 447. 447. I will put hundreds, tens, and ones. What's the value of the underlined digit? It's 7, right? It's under the family of the tens. 477. The value of the underlined digit here is, yes, 70. Let's go next. Hundreds, tens, ones. What's the value of the 3 here? Let's read the number. 330. 330. The 3 here is under the family of the hundreds. So the value of the 3 is 300. Very good. Now, 125. 125. You can put hundreds, tens, and ones. Some of you will guess it only from reading. Look, how do I read it? 125. So, the value of the 5 here is 5. Why? Because it's under the family of the ones. Now, 567. Let's put hundreds, tens, and ones. It's very important to put hundreds, tens, and ones in this order. Hundreds, tens, and ones. What's the value of the 6? It's under the family of the tens. Remember, it's very important to know the position of the digit before you guess its value. It's under the tens. I know that the tens are a 2-digit number. So the value of the 6 here is 60. If you are not sure, let's read it. It's 567. Let's go next. 842. Hundreds, tens, and ones. What's the value of the 8 here? It's under the family of the hundreds. So the 8 here is 800. The value of the 8 is 800. Let's read it to make sure. 842. Next, look at the underlined digit. Color the shoe with the correct value. So, he will put you here 2 options for each question. You have to guess and to color the correct side. You have 624. Put hundreds, tens, and ones. Let's know the position of the underlined digit. It's 2. So it's under the family of the tens. I know the tens are 2-digit number. So what's the value of the 2 here? Is it 20 or 2? Yes, it's 20. So you have to color 20. 20 is the correct answer. 381. Let's put hundreds, tens, and ones. The underlined digit here is 3. 3 is under the family of the hundreds. Very good. It's under the family of the hundreds. What's the value of the 3? I know that 3 are 3-digit numbers, right? So is it 300 or 30? What do you think? Yes, it's 300. The value of the 3 here is 300. 473. Let's put hundreds, tens, and ones again. I have a digit under the hundreds family. What's the value of the 4 here? Yes, it's 400. You are not sure? So you have to read it. How do you read it? I read it this way. 473. Yes. Next, let's put hundreds, tens, and ones. What's the value of the underlined digit? The underlined digit here is 8. It's under the family of the tens. So what's the value of the 8? Very good. It's 80. You are not sure, so you have to read it. 985. 985. So the value of the 8 here is 80. Let's put hundreds, tens, ones. The 7 is under the family of the tens. So what's the value of the 7? Is it 700 or 70? Yes, it's 70. How do you make sure? I know that the tens are 2-digit numbers. And I know that when I read it this way. 979. So the value of the 7 is 70. The last one here, 811. 811. The 1 here, the underlined digit is 1. It's under the family of the ones. I know that the ones, it's only 1 digit. So what's the value of the 1 here? Is it 10? No, it's not 10 at all. It's 1. Yes, very good. So you have to color 1. Now, count the hundreds, tens, and ones. Then write how many hundreds, tens, and ones. You have hundreds flats here, you have 10 rows, and you have ones unit. You have to count. Look at the example here. You have to count the number of the hundreds, the number of the tens, the number of the ones. I need you to look first at the example. How many hundreds do I have? 1, 2. So I will write 200. How many tens? 1, 2, 3. So I will write 3. How many ones? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 ones. When I put 2 hundreds, 3 tens, 5 ones together, remember, the order is very important. You have to put the hundreds, then the tens, then the ones. The number is 235. Now, let's go next. How many hundreds do you see? 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's 400. How many tens? 1, 2. Very good. How many ones? 1, 2, 3. 3 ones. So when I have 400, 2 tens, 3 ones, the answer will be 423. Very good. Next. How many hundreds do you have? 1, 2, 3. I will write 3. How many tens? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 5 tens. How many ones do you have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 6 ones. So, when I put 3 hundreds with 5 tens with 6 ones, I will have 356. Very good. Remember, the order is very important. You always start with the hundreds, then the tens, then the ones. Now, question number C. Let's count the hundreds. 1, 2, 3. I have 3 hundreds. How many tens? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 6 tens. How many ones? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 ones. So I have 367. Very good. Next. Question number D. How many hundreds do you have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I have 5 hundreds. How many tens? 1, 2, 3, 4 tens only. How many ones? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 ones. When I put them together, 548. Very good. Question number E. How many hundreds do you have? 1 and 2. 2 hundreds. How many ones? It's only 1 1. How many tens? Sorry, it's only 1 10. How many ones do you have? 1, 2, 3, 4. It's very important to count slowly. Okay? So you will not make any mistake. So I have 4 ones. The answer is 214. Very good. Remember, the order is very important. Hundreds, then the tens, then the ones. Let's count the hundreds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You have 6 hundreds. How many tens do you have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 tens. How many ones do you have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So you have 8 ones. When you put 6 hundreds with 7 tens with 8 ones, what do you have? 678. Remember, the order is very important. You have to put the hundreds, then the tens, then the ones. Now, next question. How many hundreds do you have? 1 and 2. So I have 2 hundreds. How many tens? Do you have any tens here? No, so I put 0 tens. How many ones do you have? 1, 2. So 2 ones. So the number is 202. So we have a 3-digit number here. Now, how many hundreds do you have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 hundreds. How many tens? 1, 2. So you put 2 tens. How many ones? Only 1 1. So 521. Remember, when you count the number of the hundreds or the tens or the ones, count slowly. Last question. Write how many hundreds, tens, and ones are in each number. It's very important to put hundreds, tens, and ones. How many hundreds do you have? Yes, 2 hundreds. How many tens? 3. How many ones? 6. Very good. Let's do the same here. Hundreds, tens, and ones. How many hundreds do you have? 3. How many tens? 7. How many ones? 0. Last one. Hundreds, tens, and ones. How many hundreds do you have? Yes, 5. How many tens? 0. How many ones? 5. Very good. Excellent work. Thank you, grade 1. Stay home, stay safe.